It is God that worketh in us both to will and to do of his good pleasure in every area of your life. That God is saying, present your body a living sacrifice. You don't.
May I tell you, one of the keys you need to put in your heart today, learn order in your life and see whether you will not experience a presence. It loves to be where people, whether you are an individual.
We need to understand all these things. There's a difference between dangerous imitation and virtuous emulation. Look, if Jesus does something and you want to do it, if that thing is not going to be a dangerous imitation, then you must understand what is the principle behind it. It is when you make that principle your own principle and you catch the spirit behind it, then and it becomes your own, that is when that thing begins to work for you. That is emulation, just imitation. Praise the living God. Who do the story when we were in primary school? There was this man, in secondary school. I saw the picture. Newspaper carried it. It was a newspaper, I saw the picture of the man. And this man said, Daniel went into lion's den. And then he said he wanted to go to lion's den and come out like lion. That man didn't know what he was doing. You know why? He could have asked himself, what was the condition that took Daniel to the den of lion? Amen? Sorry. Now, did Daniel just dance and play and was looking at the den of lion and say, let me visit this den, I want to show the power of God? No. He was cast there, offenseless. He didn't have any offense. He was cast into the lion's den, alright, as a punishment. But here is a man that was coming, and he said he was the pastor, and he wanted to display the power. He said, I too, I can do the same thing. Friends, he went to the zoo where lion was kept. He entered into the cage of lion. I think he climbed the cage and then dropped into the place. Friends, he didn't come back alive. Praise the living God. What happened to him? A dangerous imitation. Those are dangerous imitations. And we need in our lives, because there are some people, they say, well, sometimes you see some people, you love them, you appreciate them. And then you see them doing some things and then you want to just copy it. You see, before you do that, try to understand the spirit. Try to understand the principle. Otherwise, anything you try to copy without actually absorbing the principle and the spirit, or having some measure of grace for that. If not all the grace that the other person has about it, at least some measure. If those things are not there, there is going to be a disgrace at the end of the day. That is what we see in the life of the 7 sons Geba. Praise the living God. Praise the living Jesus. And so, beloved, maybe for instance, I am an interpreter. An interpreter, very good at hand for that matter. And you too, you notice that, well, you can, at least you can interpret somehow, little. You know, and you can do that. When I see perfect interpretation, I know it. And when I see interpretation there are some places the best that they have, the best an interpreter that they have You know, sometimes if you are very good, very good and sound in interpretation, you might understand, no, I'm not saying this for judgmental something, no, but I'm only saying that you might know that it is not yet the best. Because when you give a sentence, a sentence that is just about 10 words, an interpreter will interpret it, and by the time his own word is going like 50 words, 10-word sentence. That is not yet good enough. The interpretation is wordy. Are you following me right now? Now, what I'm trying to say is that now you see a very good interpreter, and within your heart you are interested in interpretation, and you wanted to be an interpreter too. And you just look at that person, you say, wow, I want to be interpreting like this person. Then the next week they give you the microphone to interpret. Then you want to be doing exactly like that person. You will find yourself in a lot of difficulties. Do you know why? Number one, you don't know where this person is coming from. You don't know whether he has Yoruba background, BSc Yoruba. You don't know any of those things. You don't know how long he has been. You don't know some of the secret work he does. You just look at that one on the surface and then you are saying, So the way the person will just, all that is being said, the way you just interpret it with one adage. His head is full of 1001 adages. And here you are, you wanted to him just in a week that you saw that there's going to be a lot of disgrace. You are going to perform woefully. Because this time, you are not yourself. You are putting on something you are not at that moment. If you want to really emulate, you say, wow, I want to be as good at that person. What do? You go back. It's either you go to him and say, sir, I like the way you interpret. How can I be as good? Then he can begin to tell you, these are the things I do. Study Yoruba. Then apart from that, every week, I practice on idiom.